So welcome back, everybody. This will be my first scar review. I think in about a week and a half. I was slacking off last week a little bit. I did put some videos up, some backlog stuff. So hopefully that keeps you guys entertained in the moment. So today I won't be reading from what I have been reading before, the translation to NAS AB or whatever it is. I'm actually going to be reading directly from the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops website. They have like mass readings and stuff like that. I'm actually going to be reading the gospel reading of this upcoming Sunday. So it'll be the first Sunday of Lent. Oh, and happy and blessed Lent to everybody as well. So this will be the reading for this upcoming Sunday. So this is Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 4, verses 1 to 13. So it says, filled with the Holy Spirit, Jesus returned from the Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the desert for 40 days to be tempted by the devil. He ate nothing during those days, and when they were over, he was hungry. The devil said to him, if you are the Son of God, command these stones become bread. Jesus answered him, it is written, one does not live by bread alone. Then he took him up and showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a single instant. The devil said to him, I shall give to you all this power and glory, for it has been handed over to me, and I may give it to whomever I wish. All this will be yours if you worship me. Jesus said to him in reply, it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him alone shall you serve. Then he led him to Jerusalem, made him stand on the parapet of the temple, and said to him, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down from here, for it is written, he will command his angels concerning you to guard you, and with his hands they will support you, lest you dash your foot against a stone. Jesus said to him in reply, it also says, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test. When the devil has finished every temptation, he departed from him for a time. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. So this nice little reading, which actually, when I was thinking about reading it too, I was actually thinking of this passage, and because it kind of illustrates why we have Lent. But lo and behold, Providence, I looked to see what the readings were this weekend, and there it is. So good. So that's really good. I was thinking of it, but actually, God probably put that little thought in my head. But so, what is Lent? For all the non-Catholics out there, and even the Catholics who are not really sure what Lent are, they are a period that we prepare for Easter. So they're a time of, there are three things. So penance, confession, penance, and almsgiving, I believe. Yes. So I'll probably correct myself there in a minute. But so during this time we're not required to go to confession all the time, but it's a time that we should do a lot more self-reflecting. A lot of parishes will actually have extra reconciliation times, which we should take advantage of. My own parish, I think every day throughout Lent, every morning they will have confession at like 7:15 in the morning. Luckily, actually over at Purdue, St. Tom's, they have confession like twice a day, like all year long, which is really nice. They'll have it before like their midday mass, and then they'll have it in the afternoon, which I think is great. Especially for the kids over there, because they're tempted all the time, just because it's a secular university. But they have a fairly strong Catholic presence over there, which is very nice. But so anyway, getting back to what I was talking about. So what is Lent? So it's a time that we prepare for Easter, and it's supposed to be kind of modeling Jesus' 40 days in the desert where he was tempted. These are the reasons that we fast, because he fasted for 40 days. Now, granted, our fast is not the same as his fast because, he is perfect. He's able to do a lot more than we could. We're not prescribed to go totally without food and water. We can, if we want to, for certain periods of time. It's recommended you don't go the entire 40 days without bread or without food and water, But if you want to be a little restricted in what's required, then go right ahead. So that leads me to another point. What is required for Lent? So, if your age is, I believe it's 14 to 65, there are 2 days out of Lent that we are required to fast. These are Ash Wednesday, which for me right now was yesterday, and then Good Friday, which is um, the day that we celebrate when Jesus was crucified. And it's called Good Friday. That's like the Friday just before Easter Sunday, to give you an idea. So those are only 2 days that we're required to fast. So what is fasting for us? So the minimum requirements are we're allowed 3 meals, no snacking. Um, we're allowed 1 large meal and 2 smaller meals, but the 2 smaller meals cannot add up to the large meal. I actually put a little diagram on my Facebook channel that I found from another Catholic Facebook thing. I reposted it on there just for people to see. So it's a good explanation on there. And then what also is required during Lent. So on Ash Wednesday and every Friday during Lent, we are to abstain from meat. So meat is anything land-based. We're allowed to have seafood if we wanted. I tend not to. I'll have fish every once in a while, but I'll just eat vegetarian. So that's like the bare minimum that we have to do. Now we can do more than that, and there's generally like a custom of like giving something up for Lent. I do that every once in a while, but what I'm actually doing this year is I'm trying to grow in my prayer life. So I'm going to try to pray more, try to get back to the daily rosaries and just stuff like that. And just like fill my day more with holy things. That is what I'm doing. Now, coming to things that were not really required, but I think are good. So yesterday was Ash Wednesday. Is a day of fasting and abstaining. I did not smoke a cigar yesterday, just because that goes along with the whole season. I was giving something up that I really enjoy for that day. And the same thing for tomorrow. Fridays, I probably won't smoke at all either, just because we are abstaining, but I just want to give that little extra more. Now we really shouldn't push ourselves to the extreme, but we should give a little bit more because it's a time of self-denial. Self-denial for the glory of God. That's what it's about. So that's a little rundown. Um, I might do a more extensive video, like a ramble of just like some history on Lent and stuff like that. Yeah, I think I might actually do that sometime like next week. I'll probably go through a history of it. So anyway, without further ado, today's cigar is a fantastic cigar. I did a mail call the other day about it, and so it's a cigar I did a mail call on a few days ago, which I am super excited about. I've smoked one of them, and anyway, I'll get into it here in a little bit. So, what I have today, it is the Blessed Leaf Doxology by Ezra Zion. Nice little bit, nice little cigar. It's a Toro size. It's 6x52, I believe. Let me get in here. Yeah, so 6x52. So it has the outside, the wrapper is a Corojo. The binders are Indonesian and Nicaraguan. And then verbatim from the website says, an eclectic mix of Jalapa, Ome Tepe, and Esteli Ligero. So that's the description that they give. And if you can see here, the band actually is it's like a piece of like twine. Just see if I'll focus a little bit, maybe. Anyway, so it's really neat. And it's really soft, so it ain't gonna be hurting anything. So start off with. This has like just a faint sweet tobacco scent to it. It's very nicely rolled. I mean, there's nothing bumpy about it. It's fairly smooth, very oily looking. Yeah, I mean, it has some veins. It has like one kind of like bigger vein run through it. And it looks like it has a double cap on it. Like it's almost like seamless, so it's really hard to tell. So it's very nicely done. It's not the heaviest cigar. It's about medium weight. It's not super dense, but at the same time, it's not like flying off, floating off my hand. So anyway, let's go ahead and get it cut up and toasted here and lit. So as I was away, I'm using my little perfect cutter I got here, which again I'll probably end up replacing this one with a Cuban crafter because this thing's starting to go dull a little bit on me. Even though I've had it for about a year. And here's my nice little lighter my wife gave me. So, oh yeah, a little bit more on the cigar. I mentioned during the mail call, but if you haven't watched the mail call, so this is a limited run cigar. There was only 1,005 cigars made. They were selling them in 5 packs, I believe. I only bought 5. I really, really, really wish I would have bought more. I'm actually kind of bummed out about it after I smoked my first one, just because I'm like, I really got to ration these puppies out. So a little bit bitter on the light, but that'll go away. Fairly strong. Ooh, very strong, actually. Ooh, man. Bitterness is still there a little bit, but so far, I mean, it's a pepper right in the back of your throat, like very way in the back of your throat. Right now, it's probably about a medium to medium full. So I'm gonna go and get into it, and I'll be back here in a few with an update. All right. All right. So we are about 10 minutes in. So this thing will focus here, maybe. Anyway, you can see it. So maybe 3/4 of an inch down after 10 minutes. All right, that bitterness completely gone. Happy about that. Which I knew it would. I mean, that always happens. Well, not I won't say always, but it happens a lot when you first light a cigar. You'll usually get like some bitterness to it, but once it cools down a little bit, it tends to go away, and then the real flavors of the cigar start coming in. So right now, still a huge pepper blast right in the back of your throat. I mean, it's just like boom, right in there. Kind of has like a sweet leather taste to it, and that pepper too. Still, like, ooh, on the retro ale, popping. That's definitely the Ligero. I'm guessing that's probably what it is, but it's very nice. Has the smoke isn't like super creamy or smooth, but the sweetness with the leather, it kind of gives it like a slight oilish feel to it. I mean, but it's not like super slick as I've had on other cigars, but it's nice. It's not rough. Remember that Ligero was popping right in the back of my throat. So good starting here. So we will, well, I will be back here in a little bit with an update. So see you guys here in a few. All right, so I'm roughly 35 minutes in, getting past the first third, kind of going into the second third a little bit. As of right now, the pepper has come down. It's still there a bit, but it's like super prominent right a bit. It's almost like they had like a huge chunk of Ligero just right at the beginning that just like knocked you. But it's really good. It's so before it's probably about, I would say it's about medium to full. Now it's a solid medium at the moment. Now it's kind of like there's a leather still in there a little bit. The sweetness is still in there with a bit of chocolate. So it's very nice. There's still kind of a pepper flavor. In the back of the palate, there's a little, just a little pinch of pepper. The retrohale is pretty smooth. The smoke itself is actually smooth out. It's not creamy. It's more of just a smooth smoke. Where before wasn't really rough, but it didn't have that nice smooth texture to the smoke. But I'm getting that right now. So I'll be back here when I'm done with the second third. All right. So just a short update. So I'm about halfway through the stick. I'm sitting around trying to think about 50 minutes. So just a little update with it. I set this down for a few minutes, a little bit longer than I thought it would. It did go out. So just you can set it down for a couple minutes, but after that you're gonna have to relight it. The first one I smoked, I just had in my hand. I just kept on smoking it, so it wasn't a problem. But I was doing some stuff on here. I uploaded a video, and I did that. I was actually watching another video. I just kind of got into it, and I'm like, oh, it's been a few minutes. I need to smoke that. Even though like I'm not, it isn't for a fact that I'm not enjoying the cigar. I'm greatly enjoying it, but I get engrossed in what I'm doing, and then my brain kind of goes off. So anyway, that's just a small update. Right, be here in a bit. All right, so we're about an hour in, getting through the second third, kind of a bit. We still got a little bit to go, but want to make sure that I'm doing these updates as best I can when things transition. So uh, I'm transitioning from that kind of sweetness with a little bit of pepper that I described before, um, with the chocolate. Now I'm getting, it's almost kind of like a vanilla-ish type of flavor. It's not like strong vanilla, but it's a hint. The Lajero's coming back, so the pepper and the kick is starting to come back. Not as much as the first, like first little bit at the beginning, but it's starting to kick up a little bit. So you can definitely tell that they've sparsed it out in between to kind of give you like lulls of nothing, and they come back up, and that's generally how a lot of cigars who have Lajero, where it's not like it's a full Lajero type of cigar, but where they piece Lajero in it, they'll do that. They'll be up, like super up, then go down, then come back up, not as high, come back down, and then towards the end they'll ramp back up just like they did at the beginning. That's my experience. That's what happens a lot. Like the Nomad 8613 is like that. But it's actually it's a quicker. It's usually like boom, 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 like all the way through, which is perfectly fine for me. I love it. Absolutely love it. So this is doing really well right now because it is winter. I don't let the ash stay on there as long as I can and let it just drop off because I have a little blanket with me out here because it's cold. Because what I do is I have like a little, it's a wooden coffee or wooden TV tray that we got, and it's really nice. It's really solid. I mean, if you can hear that. I just have my computer here with my webcam, and then underneath the table, I have a heater. It's a ceramic heater, and I put a blanket on top of that so it traps heat. So a lot of times I'll put my hand underneath the blanket, just kind of keep everything warm while I'm out here. I got my nice hat on, my jacket, and everything like that. My beard's going pretty good. So, so I have no idea where I was going with that. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit more about Ezra Zion. So, since I have the very beginning of me doing my YouTube, I have always kind of done a lot of Ezra Zion and all the other brands within the house. Well, it's actually not House of Amelia anymore. It's called Boutiques Unite is what they're called. They changed the name, but still the same guys. Um, they actually picked up another company because they lost a few people of the brands, just because the brands can leave whenever they want. But they picked up, I believe it's Black Label is who they picked up. I haven't had any of their stuff yet. But I'll probably try to get that. But anyway, I've always had kind of like a strong connection with Batiste United because Gary Griffith, who used to head House of Emilio back in the House of Emilio, he was the first person ever like in the industry to reach out to me. He actually reached out to me. He sent me some samples, and ever since then, I've been extremely grateful of him doing that because it gave me encouragement. It's just a simple fact that all the cigars he sent me were just fantastic. I mean, just great, great, great cigars. And that really gave me a love for the small boutique guys. Especially all the stuff in Boutiques United and Duran Cigars. You know, they're two companies I really, really like the most. Just for one, their cigars are phenomenal. All of them, they're just great. I mean, there's some that I don't care for the flavor profile, but they're still good cigars. Um, and they're just approachable type of people. So I talked to Gary Griffith a bit. Like Fred from Nomad, the Ezra Zion guys, and Enrique. They're always friendly on Facebook. I'll post some of their stuff. I'll tag them in it. And they always give likes, and they're very interactive. And I really, really like that. And it adds a little bit of a personal touch to it. And then also from Miguel Chodel from Duran Cigars. He actually, even though he is the global sales associate, I believe that's his title, he still has his own territory. And his territory is actually in my geographical area. So, because he's out of Cincinnati, and I live in Indiana, so he actually stops at our stores. It was about a week and a half ago. I was just sitting in my local store, sitting there, just talking with Mike, the manager there, just having a cigar, relaxing, hanging out with the guys, and Miguel just kind of shows up, and I love that. It's great. I've met him once before at an event that we had at the store like last year. Then he comes in again. I'm able to talk with him. He remembers me. He tells me to keep up on Facebook, and doing my stuff, and it's great encouragement. So I thank all of them, especially everybody who's ever reached out to me. So anyway, I'll be back here in a little bit with an update for this guy, all right? All right, so I'm getting into the last third here. We're about an hour. I'm gonna say an hour and 20 minutes because the cigar did go out a while ago, and I relit it, so it was sitting there for a minute. Um, Getting a little bit of a wonky burn. It's been burning perfectly fine. I think that's just my fault because when I relit it, I didn't light it all the way. I did not light it evenly. So, as before, the pepper went away. Okay, it didn't go away. It died down a lot. The flavor's still there, but the punch is not there anymore. Now again, I'm picking up that sweet leather again. Um, with a little bit of the vanilla. So it's really starting to combine on there. So, as well, I'm going to take this band off. So, first time I tried to take the band off, I was thinking maybe I can untie the little knot on here. Well, that's not the best thing to do. So, you can try to slide it off the bottom of it. But what I did was, so I didn't take the part of the cap off after clipping. So, all I did was I take the little knot and I just loosen it. Well, not loosen the knot, but I take it off first. Let's see if I can get it off here. There we go. And then the rest just kind of unravels. So, and there you go. He's got a nice little string. But I'll be back here probably in the cigar to kind of end everything. And hope you guys are enjoying, all right? All right, so I'm back. I'm getting close to the last third. I'm going to end it here. So we're roughly an hour and 15 minutes into it. And again, I've said this many times in my videos. Don't take the length of this, like how long it takes me to smoke a cigar, the same as how long you take to smoke a cigar. I tend to smoke mine a little bit longer. That's generally just what I am. I usually just drink slow, I eat slow, and my cigars I tend to smoke a little bit slower than most people. Again, it was a Toro size, so I mean, it will, 6 inches, and it's a 52 ring gauge, so it burns a little bit slower. So, but I have to say, the construction of this thing is it's perfect. I mean, flawless. Burned fine the entire time, unless I messed up when I lit it. If I were to let the ashes hold on and kind of let it drop off when I want it, it probably falls off in like 1.5 inch chunks. So very well constructed. Um, just like I predicted, which I've had it before, but I didn't quite remember the ups and downs of the spiciness. Again, towards the end, kicked right back up again. So, I mean, I've smoked enough cigars that have Ligero in it. That's generally what they do, unless they're ones that have like, you know, Ligero all the way throughout. But the ones who piece it through there, you can just tell it kind of goes up and down and up and down, up and down, which is fine by me. I mean, it's great. I'm a big bold cigar type of person, so I mean, this is right up my alley. Um, so even right now, the flavors are definitely that spicy pepper, man, really in there, like on the back of my throat, on the retrohale. Still a bit of the leather, some chocolate. The sweetness is pretty much gone. And when I was mentioning sweetness for this cigar, it wasn't like a sugar sweetness. It was just had that hint to it. So, a fantastic cigar. Um, I would say go and pick some up, but again, they're totally sold out. They only made 105 cigars. I was lucky enough; I got a 5 pack. Again, I really, really, really wish I ordered more because these are cigars that I know if they had them in regular production, I would always keep them in my humidor. That's just how it is. I mean, they're just fantastic. Um, so on that note, though, too, I would recommend, just signing up for Ezra Zion, their newsletter that they have. Because that's how I found out about these. They popped up, whenever they have like some of their limited run stuff, they'll pop up and be like, you know, we got this going. Um, only X amount of made. And when I saw that, because I originally, like, when they came out with the bee's knees last year, I almost went and got some, but I was just like, at the time, money was a little tight, so I was like, meh. But when I saw this, I was like, no, I need to hop on it because, Ezra Zion, I love all their stuff. It's great. The FHK, I wasn't quite fond of the flavor, but still, it was a good cigar. Um, but I jumped on it and I really wanted it to try it out. So I would recommend signing up for their newsletter. You'll get all the stuff from them. Check out all the other stuff from Boutiques United. You know, everything of all the brands are just they're phenomenal. I mean, I can't say a bad thing about any of the sticks. They're great, they're good. But each brand they have their own style. Enrique stuff, so the 1502 it's good, it's elegant, it's very nice. And also he's coming out with a nice like a super premium cigar called the 1502 XO. It premieres next month, I believe, and it's a limited run as well. I know I can't remember how many cigars he's making, but it's not gonna be like a super limited run like this, but he only has so many. I'm hoping my store will get some in. Mike said he will, so I'm probably gonna drop the money on a couple of those just to have them. Because I enjoy 1502 stuff a lot. Nomad stuff is fantastic. Fred is a madman and he creates great sticks. Uh, the Amelia cigar stuff, they're all really good. I don't tend to buy those as much just because they're not at my local store, and I try to support my local store as much as possible. All the Ezra Zion stuff, again, just out of this world. I mean, they're just great. And then the Black Label stuff, I have not tried it yet. I'm going to, so that way I could, just taste test it. I think Mike, my local store, he was saying he's going to try to get some of those in as well. So, but if he doesn't, I'm probably just going to hop online. Scar Federation carries a lot of Boutiques United stuff, so that's how I know I can get it. So again, this was the Blessed Leaf Doxology by Ezra Zion. Fantastic cigar. Go ahead and like this video, watch my other videos, invite your friends if you guys enjoy cigar reviews, you want to hear some scripture, if you want to hear about anything Catholic, I'm on there. And as well, leave me suggestions. Leave me, if you think I could do things better, or, just give me, encouragement to say, like, keep on doing the way you're doing it. So that way I know, because I do these for you guys. I don't really do them for me in a sense. I mean, I do, because I enjoy talking. I enjoy reading some scripture. But again, thank you, everybody. God bless. Uh, guys at Ezra Zion, keep up the good work. Fantastic cigar. All right. God bless everybody.